Hi there, time now to warm the cockles of your heart with a good old-fashioned winter soup, and we have a very special guest with us in the studio today, Julie Leclerc. Now, Julie's an award-winning food writer, plus the food editor for New Zealand Women's Weekly. Now, in 75 years, you're just the third editor? Serious backbone to that magazine, isn't it?
That's true, yeah.
And every week you have to produce 9 recipes for the weekly off the top of your head. How do you do that? How do you do it?
Well, I love what I do, and I just think about food all the time. And after 20 years of being in the food industry, I just know combinations, and I often liken it to music. You know, there's only so many notes and there's only so many ingredients, but I mean, every week there's a new song that you've never heard before. So I think every day there's a new recipe that you've never thought of before.
Beautiful. Can I extend that to suggest that you sing in the kitchen as well? Do you sing in the kitchen?
I wish I could, but I can't. No singing on the show.
Now, your workload is incredible, because not only do you have to come up with these new and tried recipes each week, but you also have written 10 books in a very short period of time?
In about 7 years.
Where did your inspiration for that come?
From growing up around great food. My mother's a great cook, and also travelling. I love travelling. That's a huge inspiration. And the world's just opened up, and there's so many flavours out there that it's great to taste them in the places that they come from, I think.
Well, it shows in your recipes. Now, what are we cooking today? It's a Heart Foundation recipe.
It is.
And it's a soup.
It is. It's a very hearty, sort of all-in-one soup, which is great. It's a tomato and chickpea soup with pasta in it.
I know a lot of people at home eat chickpeas, but I don't really do chickpeas. What are they all about?
Yeah, well, I think chickpeas are wonderful because they're a great source of nutrients and also protein. So it's great for vegetarians, of course. But, you know, do you love hummus?
Yes, I do.
Hummus is almost 90% chickpeas.
Oh, yeah.
So if you like hummus, you'll like chickpeas. And they just create a really lovely nutty texture in things like soup, and it's just full of nutrients as well, so it's brilliant.
And what do you think makes this soup special?
Definitely the chickpeas, but also just the combination. It's got pasta in it as well, so it's really...
It's a meal.
Yeah, it's a real meal in a bowl.
Well, that's fantastic.
And also anything based with tomatoes, and most people seem to love soups that have a really rich tomato base as well.
Oh, I look forward to it. Now, a lot of these products are Heart Foundation tick-approved products, and if you want to know more about them, you can go to their website, www.pickthetick.org.nz. But we'll have more information about that a little later on. For now, though, good luck.
Here we go.
Create, and I'll see you shortly.
Okay, thank you. So for the soup, I'm using lots of great flavours. We've got onions and carrots to sort of get the extra vegetables into the soup. And I'm using curry powder and chilli powder to just give some extra zing and flavour to the soup. Tomatoes as a base, which are low in sodium, and also chickpeas. First of all, I'm going to slice the onion. And it's quite interesting when you're cooking different dishes to think of different ways to slice the vegetables, I think, because it just makes them a bit more interesting. So just put a touch of olive oil and heating that up in the saucepan, and then I add the sliced onion. And what we do now is sweat that off for a little while, which that's just a cooking term for just cooking the onions gently. While the onions are just starting to just gently soften, I will just get a couple of other things ready. Have some grated carrot. Now, grated carrot is one of my things that I'm just really into at the moment. It's really fabulous in the winter time to think about adding, lots of extra vegetables because of their health aspects to all the food that you're cooking. And I'll throw grated carrots into sandwiches. They're really lovely in sandwiches. Throw them into soups like this one, because it adds, body and texture, as I say, but also all that goodness. And if you have trouble getting your kids to eat their vegetables, this is a really sneaky and clever way of doing it. So now that the onions are just about ready, I add the spices now. So for this recipe, I'm using 2 teaspoons of curry powder. And that will just give a really lovely, nice sort of extra, seasoning, but also a great amount of warmth to the soup. And now we add the tomatoes, which are the tick-approved ones, because the great thing about these tomatoes is they're much lower in sodium, and so it's much more healthy. You can break them up if you've got a nice this is quite a nice sharp wooden spoon, or you can get a potato masher, and if you just mash them around with the potato masher, it breaks them up beautifully. So I'm just going to add some water to this now, because The pasta that we're going to add obviously needs a lot more liquid to cook properly. So if you're just adding it to the tomatoes, the pasta is just going to solidify with the tomatoes. So I've added the extra water, and now I'm adding the pasta. And it's actually only a small amount of pasta. It's only half a cup, because this does swell up enormously, and you don't want it to be a really solid pasta-y soup. It's going to be this really interesting combination of the chickpeas, the pasta, and all the vegetables in there. It actually takes a little longer than pasta normally takes to cook, because because of the other ingredients in there, it seems to slow down the pasta cooking process. So it might take about 15 minutes to cook that pasta, as opposed to normal pasta, which might only take about 8 minutes. If you're making it ahead, you want to actually slightly undercook the pasta, because it will keep swelling, and then it's not such a good texture. So now we're at the stage where we need to add the last few ingredients, which are the fabulous grated carrot, my favourite thing. And you just see, as soon as you add that, it just adds something special to the soup, I think. And then, of course, the low-sodium chickpeas, and that's why I've added a lot of spice to this soup, because we're adding all these healthy products that are low in sodium, and this way we're getting a lot of flavour. We're getting the flavour from the vegetables, we're getting that lovely hint of spice coming through without needing to add salt anyway, and you'll find that the soup is beautifully flavoured just as it is. So the last thing I'm going to add is just a touch of chilli powder, just added to taste, because it goes with all the curry flavours that we've got in here, and it also is beautiful. Chilli is always lovely with tomato, but just to taste, and obviously be aware it's pretty hot, so if you don't like it really spicy, just add a pinch, up to sort of quarter or half a teaspoonful if you like it really spicy. And that's it. So we've got a gorgeous, gorgeous all-in-one meal, all in the one pot, and it's very hearty and delicious. So you see, it makes a really great amount to feed a family. And you can see how the pasta's really swollen to fill the dish. And we've got the chickpeas and all the carrot coming through, all those lovely flavours and textures, and tastes fantastic.
Julie, I'm loving the smells and the aroma that's coming out of your kitchen. That looks beautiful.
It is gorgeous, and you can see how the pasta's really taken on all that sort of flavouring.
I may be guessing this, but I think you have a wee fetish for carrot. Is that right?
At the moment, it's my thing.
Should we just have a wee taste? I've been wondering about these chickpeas because I've never had any before.
Yeah,
I tell you what, that is really incredibly spicy, isn't it? It's going to warm anything.
Yeah.
That would send any soldier to war. It'd be perfect for them. Now, if you want to try this at home, all you have to do is check out our website, www.foodtv.co.nz, and you will not be disappointed. Now, I really liked before how you were talking about if you can't travel, travel via your taste buds. If you can't travel, travel via your taste buds, and we'll see you back again tomorrow. Take care. For more information on today's show and how to join the Fit Club, check out www.livingchannel.co.nz. In this week's magazine, Oprah's 100 kilogram blowout and Sally Ridge's new craft column.